Former President Trump appeared virtually in a New York City courtroom this afternoon. The hearing was in connection to the Manhattan District Attorney's 34 felony count indictment. It accuses Trump of falsifying his company's business records. Judge Juan Merchan issued additional guidance regarding the evidence that is being shared during the discovery process of the trial. Former President Trump has pleaded not guilty to the charges. CBS News investigative reporter Graham Cates joins us now. So, Graham, what happened in the courtroom during today's hearing?
In some ways, this was a very normal court hearing. It was only 10 to 15 minutes long. Judge Merchan asked former President Trump if he had received a copy of this protective order, and Trump could be seen on television in the courtroom, kind of lifting up a copy of it and saying, "Yes, I do." That was the only time he spoke during this. And the judge said, rather than run through this thing line by line, I understand your attorney has explained it to you. And the attorney, Todd Blanche, who was sitting with Trump in Mar-a-Lago, reiterated that they oppose the issuance of the order, saying that they're afraid that there are First Amendment implications because former President Trump is once again running for president. And the judge reiterated something he stressed throughout this court proceeding going back to April 4th, which is that he's very mindful of the fact that Trump is running for president. And all that he's asking is that Trump not make public any of the evidence against him until the trial starts. And he reiterated once again that this is not a gag order and that Trump is free to talk about the case itself, but not some of the material in the case. And then he noted that there are sanctions for violating that order, including contempt. And that's noteworthy for Trump because Trump was actually held in contempt just last year in a different matter, a civil case in New York. And his attorneys acknowledged that was something they should look out for.
And Graham, how did today's hearing differ from last month's?
Well, first of all, he wasn't there. Last month, there was a huge security apparatus here at New York City. It was disruptive to the entire court. Dozens of court officers and Secret Service agents were in the courtroom as Trump walked in. And in this case, this morning I was speaking to a court officer who actually had no idea that Donald Trump had a court hearing this morning in this very building. And so that's a night and day difference. And this was a very unusual setup. This kind of video appearance for a defendant is usually only used when the defendant is hospitalized. It's very, very rare for someone who is healthy to be allowed this kind of accommodation. But in some ways, it was an accommodation for the court itself.
All right, Graham Cates reporting for us. Graham, thank you so much.